I know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. Today's topic: stop asking questions and start making statements. And when I say that, I don't even mean it literally, but you can use it literally just as well. What I'm talking is more metaphorically. That in life you need to stop asking, meaning you're taking information in from the outside, and start making statements, meaning you're giving information out that's coming from the inside. Everybody catch what I just said there? When you ask a question, that means you're getting someone or something from the outside world, outside of you as a person, to give you information. That's what asking a question is. You ask a question, you get an answer. I'm talking about an external question, not an internal question. And making a statement is when you're taking something that is within you, something that you already think, something you already believe, or something that you want to say, and you're putting it out to the world, to another person, on your blog, on Twitter, or whatever it is you're doing. So it's, instead of taking it in, you're sending it out. I'm telling you in this video, this is a mindset of asking, instead of asking questions, start making statements. Now, is there a time in life to ask questions? Absolutely. Is there a time in life to not make so many statements? Absolutely. Wisdom is the ability to know when to use which pieces of information you have. Okay, wisdom is the ability to know when to use what you know and when not to use what you know. Everybody understand that? So when I put out with this type of topic, somebody says, well, what about this? Or what about this time? What about that time? Now, I just answered that with that statement. Okay, everybody got that? Point number one. Topic here we're talking about is stop asking questions and start making statements. When someone asks you your opinion, when someone asks you for a suggestion, when someone asks you, what should we do? Make a decision. Don't just throw something, just make a decision. Don't just throw something out there like, oh, well, we could do this, or I heard about that, or I was thinking this thing over here. See, that's what most people do. They get asked for an opinion or a suggestion. They're like, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that. And then if it ends up being wrong, or the thing that wasn't chosen, they can say, well, it was only a suggestion. I was just saying. I was just putting it out there. Is that what people say? I'm just saying. Listen, if you want to be a leader, you want to be a person who's looked up to, a person who was followed, a person when you say something, that's what it is. You got to start making decisions. You got to start making statements. A decision is a statement. Okay, a suggestion is a question. One more time, a decision is a statement. A suggestion is a question. Even though it may not be formed as a question, it may not be a question mark at the end of a suggestion, it's still a question because you're saying it's just a suggestion, which means it's in a list of all the other suggestions, and we got to choose which one of these we're going to pick. A decision is, this is what it is. Statement. This is what it is. So when you're asked for your opinion or a suggestion, offer a decision. And here's why. Here's why, and this is what's going to happen. You can go try this out and let me know what happens. People are going to follow your decision when you start offering decisions. Even if they ask you for a suggestion, if you offer a decision, people are going to start following it. And when you realize, when you start to understand the power that comes from that, people are going to start following you. People are going to start listening to you more. You're going to feel more confident in yourself because everybody else is going to be more confident in you because they know you're the person who makes decisions. They know you're the person with the answers. They'll all have all these suggestions, and then everybody's going to look to you to see what the answer is. You understand that? Everybody put out a suggestion, which is a question. They're going to look to you for the decision, which is the answer. That's the number one thing you do. Stop asking questions. Start making statements. When you're asked for an opinion or a suggestion, offer a decision. Just try it out. Number two, when you're in a position of being in charge, whether that's in your family, whether it's on a team that you're on, whether you're doing a group project in school and you get named the project manager, or you just decide you want to be in charge, be in charge. When you're in charge, be in charge. What does being in charge mean? You know what being in charge means. All right? You've been in situations where someone else was in charge. What did they do? That's what you need to do. Did they walk in the room and say, okay, this goes here, you do that, you come over here, fix that over there? They just came in the room and said. They made statements. They weren't asking too many questions. And if they asked a question, it was only for them to set up the statement. Be in charge when you're in charge. When you're at the head of a group, you can't poll the audience every single time a decision needs to be made. So if you're running a group of 5 people, you can't go ask the other 4 people what they think every single time before a decision is made. There are going to be times when you need to make a decision on the spot. You ain't got time to ask nobody else a question. There'll be times when you go ask everybody else and 2 people think this and 2 people think the opposite. You got to cast a deciding vote. It's not actually a vote. You got 5 votes. They each got 1 vote. So it doesn't even matter. Even if they all agreed, you're in charge. So where you have an opportunity to be in charge, or you decide you want to be in charge, be in charge. That means take control. You make the statements. They can ask the questions. They can offer their suggestions and opinions, and they can agree or they can disagree. But guess what? You're in charge. It starts with you and it stops with you. Number 3, in life, anything that you decide to do, whether it's start a business, whether you want to play a sport professionally, whether you want to close your business, you want to stop playing a sport professionally, whether you don't want to open a business at all in the first place, whether you don't even want to try to play a sport professionally, understand that your opinion of your actions, of your life, yourself, who you are, what your capabilities are, your opinions of yourself, and when I say yourself, that means anything you can do, say, feel, experience, and who you are as a person. Your opinions of yourself are more valuable than anyone else's opinions of yourself. Your opinions on your actions, words, thoughts, who you are as a person, where you live, where you're going, what you should study in college, what kind of job you should try to get, what kind of business you should open, what product you should sell next. Your opinions of yourself are more valuable than anyone else's opinions. Does this mean that you just ignore everybody's opinion in the world? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean that. Because if you want to go get hired for a job and the boss's opinion is you need to shave your beard a little bit and trim it up, and you just ignore that opinion, you might not have a job anymore. So if you're on a basketball team and the coach's opinion is you need to do better at setting screens, and you just ignore it, like, I don't care about his opinion, I don't care about my opinion, I don't need to get better at setting screens, you might find yourself on the bench or off the team. So it doesn't mean you just ignore all opinions of other people, but understand your opinion is the most valuable of all opinions. And unless you're following your opinion of things, following other people's is going to get you in a direction that you don't want to go. It's not going to get you to becoming what you're about. You've seen that video where I talk about prioritizing. Following other people's opinions will get you on the path of those other people. If you sway your decisions or sway the way you think and act every single time someone else offers an opinion, how are you ever going to become who you are? You taking this person's opinion and that person is like your body's being pulled in 3 different directions. Which one are you? You're actually none of them, because you only got a small piece of each one. You can take in other people's opinions. I listen to other people's opinions. I hear what they say. I read the feedback. I read the emails. I hear what somebody might say to me if I ask them a question about something that I'm doing or something I'm thinking of or something that has already happened. I take in the opinions. I take them in. I take in all that stuff, and then I make my own decision. Bobby Baldwin was a coach of Florida State football for several years. And one year he had a player who had some off-the-field infraction where the media thought this player might get suspended for the upcoming big Florida State football game. This was against a nationally ranked opponent. Florida State was nationally ranked. Everyone was wondering all week leading up to Saturday, is Bobby Baldwin going to suspend this star player, or is he going to let the star player play? What's going to happen? So the game comes, the star player plays in the game, and Florida State wins the game. After the game, the media came up to Bobby Baldwin, as they did every game, but this time they had all these questions about this star player. Why did you let this player play? Don't you think that infraction was cause for a suspension? How did you come to your decision, Bobby? Why did you let this player play when many people thought you were going to suspend him? And Bobby said this, and I'm going to end the video on this note. Bobby said, I have 9 assistant coaches. 9 assistant coaches. And anytime I have to make a big decision, I ask each one of them their opinion. I ask each one of them their suggestion. Each one of my 9 assistant coaches gets 1 vote. But when it comes time to make a decision, I get 10 votes. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.